Thank you so much for calling in. Please let me know your name and where you're calling in from.
Hey, my name's Aaliyah. I'm from Tennessee.
How are you, Aaliyah?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I'm glad you got through. What's going on tonight?
Okay, so basically, we are in a situation that we have a guest speaker who speaks at our church probably a couple times a year, who calls himself a prophet. And the issue is that sometimes the words are accurate and like we can see them come to pass, and there's things that he would not have known without like God speaking to him. But other times, like for me personally, the words that I received from him did not feel accurate to me. Like he was telling me things about my past that just I didn't relate to it. Like it didn't happen. And then there's been some of our friends who said the same thing, that like parts of the word that they got felt accurate, but then other parts were just wrong. So we're not sure what to do, because the leadership at our church keeps making excuses for, I guess, like the things that he's getting wrong.
And are you a leader in the church?
My husband is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really tough situation. There's a lot of people that will do these, shotgun prophecies where they'll just start saying like common things that a lot of people go through and just kind of hope that they hit somewhere or hit something. And the trouble is, sometimes they do hit the mark. You know what I mean? Like if you're saying over 10 people, hey, I see this from your past, it's like, probably one of those people you're going to get it right. So it is hard. It is hard to distinguish sometimes, because when they say things that seem true, it fails to validate them, even though a lot of the stuff they said was false. So that is a tough situation. Unless you're in leadership, there's not a lot of things you can do. You can get a prophetic word and not receive it. Just, hey, you don't have to tell them that, but it's like, I just don't receive the word. I don't feel like it was right on. I'm very leery of a lot of prophetic people that will go into the past and start bringing up all these things from the past. It's like, first of all, Jesus doesn't take us to the past. He takes us forward. Second of all, like, I didn't want you to share the whole congregation my past, especially if it's not true, because then it's really awkward. You're like, can I get the mic real quick and tell everyone everything you said was wrong? And I've had this happen to me where people will prophesy over me and like publicly, and they're like, was that right? And I'm like, no, it was completely wrong. So it does feel weird. It does feel bad. I would say that if you're not a leader or a pastor, there's not a lot that you can do. If you're a leader or pastor, that's something you have to come together and say, hey, this guy's missing a lot of prophetic words, and there's something going on here. I don't feel that this is right. I don't feel that this is accurate, and we shouldn't bring him in again. But ultimately, usually the senior pastor is the one that has the right to bring in and like certain people and not. The other option is, and this might sound bad, but you just don't go the nights he preaches. If he's coming in once or twice a year, hey, he's coming into town, I'm not going to church. I'm not going to be at the service, because I'm not trying to have someone prophesy over me or testimony over me or tell me stuff that didn't happen in my past. It just feels weird. So that could be something to think about and talk to your pastor about. If they do call you and say, why aren't you coming? Well, hey, I've had a bad experience with this guy before. He's given me words that weren't true. And especially if you're in a small church, right? Like if you're in a small church and he's prophesying over everybody, there's a good chance he's going to prophesy over you. And like, I don't want no one prophesying over me. I'm just like, dude, no, if you prophesy over me wrongly, do not do that again. Like, I do not receive that. I don't want any false fire, fake anointing. And I don't know the guy, so I'm not saying that he's doing that. I'm just saying, I would just be leery of that. Like, I don't want someone speaking into my life that's saying things that are wrong.
That's good. Yeah, my husband is the worship leader, so it's very validating to hear, like, it's okay if you just don't go. So
yeah, I know. And listen, don't send the clip to your pastor and be like, well, Isaiah said, because I cause enough trouble in the churches as it is with my preaching on deliverance. But no, that's personally what I would do. Even if I was a leader, I would just say, hey, I'm not coming. And I've had that happen before. Churches I'm a part of, there's a guy that I'm like, this guy he's not it. He's off. There's something weird going on. And hey, I'm not coming tonight. It is what it is, right? Like, I know for your husband, it's probably hard because he's the worship leader, but yeah, that's a tough situation. And sometimes we just have to go, okay, I'm just not going to make it. My husband's still going to do worship. I'm going to honor my leadership. And maybe they see something I don't see, but I definitely don't want people like making up a past. Like, it's just so bad. It's so bad when someone starts saying this happened to you in your past and it didn't, and then they move on, and it's like damaging because they get to leave on an airplane and go to the next place, and you're stuck with all these people that think you did all these crazy things you didn't do. Like, that's just very, very bad, very damaging. I'm trying to be nice, by the way, because there's other stuff I want to say, but I want to make sure that I'm honoring in this. I would just be careful.
Yeah, that's where it's so tough because I don't want to be disrespectful, but I feel like I can safely stay home on those Sundays now, so thank you for that.
And how often does he come to the church, you said?
Probably like 2 to 3 times a year.
Oh, okay. So that's not bad. So you only have to miss church a couple weeks.
Yeah. Right.
Now, what does the leadership say? I'm just curious. What do they say to defend him? Just curious.
So I think, first of all, the head pastor and him are good friends.
Oh, well, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So he's given them words that I think have come to pass. Like, he's prophesied people who were not able to have children, that they would have children, and it happened. So, like, they can give examples of it being accurate. But then there's other examples where he was like, oh, you all are going to have a baby next year. And then 3 years goes by and they haven't had a child. And now, like, it's just, I don't know. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. But they're always making excuses and not really highlighting any of the things that he misses, just highlighting the things that he gets right.
Yeah, that's hard, especially when you're prophesying. I try not to prophesy. 3 things I tell people: don't prophesy relationships, babies, or money, because people they get very heartbroken when you prophesy, oh, you're going to have a baby, and then they don't have a baby, or, oh, you're going to get married to this person. And it's just too much control. So yeah, I would be like, if that's my church, that's a red flag. We're not prophesying babies. We're not prophesying. Now, it's one thing to say, and I've done this before many times, hey, if you're barren and you're not fertile and you've been trying to have a baby, we're going to pray for you to get healed, right? Or we're going to pray, break that curse, whatever it is. And I'm never going to give someone hope like, oh, God says that next year, but I'm going to pray for you. And if God does, he does. But I would never want to tell somebody, oh, God told me this. And then, especially if it doesn't come to pass, it's just, yeah, it's not a good situation.
Right. Yeah, he tells everybody that they're going to have a baby, it feels like.
Yeah.
So,
it sounds like he's just giving out, these generic fortune cookie prophecies. And that's kind of like the trouble of some of the prophetic movement is they're very general. And it's like, oh, God gave me a word of knowledge. Someone has back pain. It's like, bro, all of us have back pain. The whole church has back pain. So sometimes they give, words of obvious instead of words of knowledge. And we definitely want to make sure, and I'm not saying you are, because I don't think this is where you're at, but it's like we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. But some people just give these super general prophecies that are like, not specific at all. And so, yeah, sometimes it could devalue the gift of prophecy.
Gotcha. Okay, well, we'll keep praying about it. Thank you for making me feel like it's okay to stay home on those weeks.
No worries. Thanks so much for calling in.
Thank you. We'll see you in Tennessee in a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah. We'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
Awesome. God bless you. She's like, you're going to be at my church in a few weeks. No, I'm just kidding. That's awesome. Yeah, we'll be out there in Tennessee at Global Vision Bible Church here in a few weeks. So that'll be good. I forgot to post on the website today. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so bad. I keep forgetting. Yeah, so we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, even if people are prophesying false babies.